It's the Bros Ball.
I was going to do that. Whatever.
Oh, you're going to do it?
Whatever. Let's start. Anyways, so.
Week 2 in the NFL season.
Bros Bowl.
It wrapped up. Bros Bowl? Just
Yeah,
dropping
Bros
mid.
Bowl week 2. Yeah, week 2 reaction.
Okay, this is the NFL week 2.
All right.
Alright, let's start again.
Take 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. So, week 2 of the NFL season just wrapped up.
Yeah, it did. Very eventful.
Always very eventful.
Yeah.
So, we'll just go right down the list, right?
Get right into it.
Yeah, so Vikings beat the 49ers 23-17.
This, I don't remember if I said it last podcast, but I was actually kind of like, I was skeptical. I thought the Vikings could have actually had a chance. I picked the Niners.
I picked the Niners thinking that this was a home game for the Niners, but as it turns out, it was not a home game for the Niners. It was Vikings.
The Niners, they lost Kittle this game. They lost Debo.
They already lost Christian McCaffrey.
They lost Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's just their
injuries are piling up for that team.
Yeah, I might want to mulligan on my picks for just in general for everything because oh my gosh, it is not shaping up to be a normal year for the NFL.
Yeah, what are my picks again? I'm glad we have these just on standby right here. Our picks.
Yeah, I picked the Niners 30-10, and you picked the Niners 21-17.
Yeah.
You actually were pretty close.
You're
pretty close, but just inverse.
Yeah, well, I think the Niners will be fine. They're just going. They're just going through a bit of a rough patch, all these injuries. Because when they get McCaffrey back and they get Debo back and they get all these other guys back, I think they'll be fine.
If McCaffrey comes back, he apparently has Achilles arthritis.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a Todd Gurley injury. If you don't remember what that one is.
No.
Yeah. So not good.
Yeah,
not
but
good.
He's diligent enough. I think he'll come back.
I think he'll be fine, but we'll have to see.
I think the story of this game.
This could be Todd Gurley part 2, dude.
But I think the story of this game was Sam Darnold.
Dude, he's looking good.
I think you know what? I always thought he was good. I always had deep down. I always kind of thought he was good, but
wrong coaching staff.
Well, let's see. Okay, he gets drafted by the Jets. The Adam Gase Jets.
Yeah, he gets drafted by Adam Gase.
Already his hands
goes down to Carolina, and
that's we need to say more about Carolina.
No, not
Carolina had Baker and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and they're both 3-0 on their teams.
Yeah, and then he goes to San Fran. Apparently, he learned a lot under San Fran, and then obviously he went to the Vikings and. Now he's balling out with the Vikings, but also helps when you have Justin Jefferson to throw it to.
Yeah, 97-yard touchdown.
That was a
Justin
beautiful
Jefferson.
touchdown.
He's also out with a quad injury. A lot of injury. This is week 2, injury week.
Injury week.
Big injury week this week.
Yeah, so check your fantasy teams.
Oh yeah, I was watching. I saw this one screenshot. There's one guy. I think he had Debo, CMC. He had pretty much he had Tua, Debo, CMC, Kittle. I don't even know how he had pretty much the entire Niners offense, but everything was injured except the Saints and special teams. Which is that's so funny, dude. Too bad for that guy, but I might not be right on the exact injuries, but this whole team was injured.
So now we got an overtime game.
So next game is the Seattle Seahawks traveling up to the New England Patriots and winning at 23-20. Seattle looks good. Not
bad. No, their secondary's stellar.
Yeah, Reek Woolen looking nice.
Tariq Woolen, they have that other guy. Who they pick?
Kobe Bryant.
No, they have Kobe Bryant.
Devon Witherspoon looks locked down.
Yeah, dude, they're rebuilding the Legion of Boom, and it's going pretty well for them.
No, and I will contend with this. The Seahawks D-line looks stellar with Byron Murphy on it.
Yeah.
They look stellar.
Dude, they looked really good. Seattle's defense. I mean, I think they're still hamstrung by Geno. If they had
Kyler, I think this team would be amazing.
Yeah,
this team would be Super Bowl bound.
I'm not saying Geno's terrible. I'm saying he has a ceiling.
Yeah, and then linebacking core is still not great.
Yeah,
still not great, but Seattle just they know how to win. Mike McDonald has clearly proven himself to be a capable head coach.
Even without Kenneth Walker, they didn't even have Kenneth Walker this game, did they?
Yeah, but Zach Charbonnet is still really good.
Yeah, he did pretty well this game too.
Yeah, DK had a 54-yard touchdown, just looking like an absolute manimal. Dude, I would throw every ball to DK Metcalf, dude. He is so big.
Now, the Patriots, I don't know what's going on with the Patriots.
They have great running game. Their defense is,
good.
Defense is always super stout.
It always is.
So, I have a stat for you. So, throughout the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, guess how many touchdowns were scored?
5.
Through 2 weeks, how many touchdowns total? By all teams?
I'm not going to guess.
66.
That's it?
You know what the record was in 2021?
What was it?
120.
Oh, geez. So it was amazing.
Scoring is down by almost half.
It sounds like teams are starting to build their defense and and put more onus on the running
Revenge
game.
of the kickers, man. This is revenge of the kickers.
Well, I wonder why it is because quarterbacks make a lot of money now, so they're trying to get like all the onus off the quarterback and more on the running back. You know what I mean?
I think this is more of a case of the specialty of the kickoff getting moved to 30 because now all of a sudden you have five less yards to drive, and field goal kickers can kick further. So you're getting into field goal range a lot more than you are touchdowns.
Yeah.
So people are just settling for field goals instead of going for it on fourth down by midfield.
Right.
That's what I've surmised. So when you get past that 50-yard line, all of a sudden, instead of trying to let's go on 4th and 1, let's go on 4th and 2, we could just kick it because our field goal kicker can hit it. And field goal kickers this year have been great. But
Yeah.
a little uncharacteristic misses from a few of the top names.
So,
But
this game was good. I don't think either of these teams are going to make it very far in the playoffs or even make it to playoffs, but very promising teams.
I don't know about Seattle. I really don't know about Seattle. So if the Rams stay injured for a long period of time, which I don't think they will, but if the Rams are injured for a long period of time, if the Cardinals keep ripping off wins and they keep ripping off wins against bad opponents, they keep beating bad opponents.
Yeah.
Because the Rams right now are bad. I'm sorry, the Rams right now they don't have
They're
they just
beating up too.
yeah they're beating up, they're injured, but they just don't have the talent to compete with a team like the Cardinals.
Well,
we'll get that game in a minute.
The Patriots just use Drake May. What's taking you so long to use Drake May?
Brissett's not bad.
He's not bad, but I mean,
Their offense needs downfield passing. They need to start throwing the ball, and Drake May has that. I don't know why they don't use him.
I don't know why they're not using Brissett. Why they're using Brissett over him? Because Drake, you got him third overall for a reason. Use him.
Well, I just don't think they want to put all that pressure on Drake May right now.
Yeah, that's great. He was picked third overall.
Well, let's see. Just different mentalities.
All right.
Gerard May's doing a great job though.
Yeah,
he's doing
well.
he's doing a really great
Defense
job.
looked exactly like it looks like a Belichick defense.
Yeah, it's Belichick Part 2, which is
Yeah.
scary. I think as long as Drake May could really develop into a good quarterback, Patriots could be really good. Next, we got the field goal extraordinaire, Giants versus the Commanders. Giants lost 18-21 to the Commanders.
All field goals.
Giants scored 6 field goals.
Oh my god.
Actually, wait, no, that's not true. Commanders scored 6 field goals. No, wait, no, that's also wrong too. Okay, I know that there's a lot of field goals scored in this game because Malik never scored a touchdown.
What's 3 times 6?
18.
So it's the Giants.
No, Malik never scored a touchdown.
Okay, so he did score a touchdown.
Okay, whatever. If you were watching this game, you are a masochist. There's no way you could watch the Giants and Commanders willingly. 2 really bad franchises.
Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is still really good, but again, they're just the East is suck. The NFC East is gonna suck.
This is such a meh game. Well,
you know the outcome for both these teams. Like none of these teams are making playoffs.
I don't think either of these franchises are very optimistic about their chances near
Giants especially. Giants should be feeling like I'm sorry for Giants fans, man.
We both took Washington to win this game, and we both took Seattle to win against the Patriots. So,
Yeah.
boom, bada bing, bada boom, dude. We've been doing good except for the Niners.
Yeah.
All right, next we got the Chargers at Carolina
This
Panthers.
was just a practice game for the Chargers.
26-3, officially ending the Bryce Young regime in one game
Although
because they benched him.
They did him 30 though, Bryce Young.
Man, they suck. The Panthers suck.
They are so bad.
If you're a Panthers fan, dude, what are you doing?
David
Abandoned.
Tepper ruined this team.
They're
If you
bad.
get drafted by the Panthers, I don't know why the fuck you would stay.
Yeah.
Like McCaffrey's looking a lot smarter by the day. Like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Well, he's not some. Well, that wasn't his. I mean, he didn't ask to get traded. He just got traded.
Yeah, but if I were him, like deep down, I'm going. Thank God.
Yeah, Chargers beat up on the little kid at the.
So much so Quentin
recess.
Johnson got 2 touchdowns
Yeah, if Quentin Johnson scored twice, then your team might be really bad.
over J.C. Horn too.
No, nothing really else to say about the Chargers. Chargers took care of business against
Yeah.
a weaker opponent.
Chargers look like a new, better, improved team.
All right.
But again, it is the Panthers, so and that's
So next
Panthers
game.
are pretty bad.
Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Jerry World
It's awesome.
and winning 44-19.
I love it. I love watching. the
I
Cowboys
was
get
not-
destroyed.
I was really down on the Saints going into this year, but man, it is so funny to watch.
I was too. On the Saints. Sorry, I didn't mean to have to.
It is so funny to watch how one coordinator can completely change the outlook of an entire team.
Exactly.
Clint Kubiak has completely remade this offense, and now they're all of a sudden they're throwing the ball to Kamara in space. Derek Carr's taking deep shots to Rashid Shaheed. We're getting like timing routes from every other receiver that you really have no idea whose names they are. It's I wish I would have known. I only receiver I know there is Rashid Shaheed,
Yeah.
but it's telling you that it doesn't matter who their weapons are. They're gonna play well with who they have.
Well,
Chris Olave is still doing really well.
Yeah. You forgot about Love. That's what the reminder.
I was about to. Yeah. Well, it's just their offense has been so meh over the past 3 years that now all of a sudden you're starting to see explosion from them. It's insane what you can see from them.
And Cowboys looking like pretenders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anything's changed with the Cowboys. I actually think they got worse.
I think the Saints are. No, I think the Saints are that much better. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think they are too. I
the
think
Saints are that much better.
Clinton Kubiak really turned this team around.
Their defense is spectacular.
I
We
think-
were saying 2012 Raiders. This might look like the 2014 Raiders, actually.
Yeah,
Like-
no, that defense is pretty good, dude. They got some young bucks on that defense.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Well,
Watch
they
out
got-
for the Saints.
They got a Debo. They got Marshawn Latimer.
They still got Demario Davis.
They got Demario Davis. They got another corner, didn't they?
oh,
They got McKinstry, Khalid McKinstry.
Quinn McKinstry.
That's a good dude. Yeah,
I don't know.
they're
I don't know
good.
if he's start. I don't know if he's starting. I don't want to talk about them, but the Saints look.
Watch out.
Yeah, especially if they keep just feeding Kamara the ball, it's game over for every other offense. This was the biggest pet peeve of me last year because they just would never feed Kamara. They would never feed Kamara. Now all of a sudden Kamara's getting all these touches. Oh wow, you guys are winning games. He's scoring 4 touchdowns. Wow, who would have
Wow.
guessed?
Getting off to your star running back.
Yeah, and yeah, Saints look good.
I was down on the Packers for this next. Oh, we want to go to the next game.
Yeah, let's go to that. Oh, the Cowboys are the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are not. The Cowboys are pretenders. It's at best they make playoffs, but they're probably gonna take out in the first round.
Cowboys are one of the best away teams, and when they're at home, they get blown out. The last game they played there was the Packers versus the Cowboys.
I mean, I think
And they
they're
got
better.
blown out.
I think they're better home team than they are away team. But
No, they're a better away team. We're a much better away team. Well, at least so far, that's the stats of the last 5 games say. That they suck at home. Anyway, next we got the Colts traveling to the Green Bay Packers and losing 10-16.
I really underestimated the Packers here. I thought they're not gonna have Jordan Love. I don't think they'll win this one, but no, they did. They pulled it off.
We both took Indianapolis. I thought Anthony Richardson was going to really start cutting it loose against the secondary. They didn't do that. They did the exact opposite of what they should have did, which was run the football with Jonathan Taylor, which they did. I'm not going to... Jonathan Taylor still had 100 yards. But the Packers just were resigned to the fact that the Colts could not stop the run, especially with DeForest Buckner getting injured in this game. They were just resigned to just run the ball like 40, 50 times,
Yeah,
which is beautiful to watch.
Anthony Richardson. I don't know if Anthony Richardson's a Cam Newton or a Jameis Winston right now.
I think he's still looks a lot like Cam Newton, but
I know he does. I think he's got a lot of raw talent, but I just don't think they're not as put together. The Colts aren't as put together as the Packers are.
yeah, I think Green Bay's defense is still really good. Oh, I think it's really good now because they changed coordinators,
Yeah.
which, and Anthony Richardson, I don't think he's still
Still
he's
young.
still really young.
Yeah, he
this was what his 16th, 17th start
Well,
ever
It's
for a major program.
his first start because remember he got injured last year.
No, well, I'm going back to Florida. This is like his 17th major game in a stadium.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. He's still really young in his life, in his football life.
Yeah, he still has to gel with those wide receivers. Like this is still a really young offense.
Yeah. And tests like that are always hard to pass.
Yeah.
So, kudos to Green Bay. Green Bay still looks really. I cannot wait to see what this offense is going to look like with Jordan Love back in it.
Yeah.
Because I think the Philadelphia game was kind of a anathema,
Yeah.
kind of an outlier because they were in a different country. It's like in Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is just it's
Yeah,
a world
it's
away.
rough.
I want to see Philadelphia versus Green Bay in an actual matchup championship, but we'll see.
All right.
All right, Cleveland at the Jaguars. Cleveland winning 18-13. Jaguars cannot figure out what they want to do on offense. They're running the football. They're dead last in pass attempts, and their team is suffering because of it because they're just not letting Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk off the chain.
It really is very unfortunate for the Jags. It just feels like they never learn a damn thing. Like ever.
Well, they do the opposite. They always okay, we were number 1 last year in neutral pass rate. Now we're gonna be the last. Gonna be dead last.
Yeah.
We're gonna run the football all day, every day.
And the Browns, say what you want about them, they still play ball. Like they still got dogs in that defense. They still have a good run game.
Well, I think Deshaun Watson went from stellar superstar to, I think he's functional.
He's a game manager.
He's slowly descended. Well, not slowly. He very rapidly descended from like superstar, one of the top 10 players in the NFL to. He can manage the offense. He can manage it. He's just not. He's not a superstar anymore.
It's just not playmaking ability.
Yeah, he's just not a superstar. I think it's very clear that he's not. But yeah, I don't know if there's much else to be said about the Browns and the Jaguars. It's just both these teams are just. I think Jaguars are probably gonna be last in the AFC South.
They might, dude.
Let's see. The Colts, the Titans, and the Jags are all 0-2.
The Titans are probably.
The Texans are winning that division, running away.
The Titans are in the running for like the third overall pick at this point.
Yeah. Next we got. Oh, speaking of the Titans, next we got the Jets visiting the Tennessee Titans and winning 24-17. Will Levis is just amazing amazing memes, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. He has some of the wonkiest passes attempts you'll ever see in your life. He throws the ball with two hands right to his running back that just looks like he's flying through the air. It's awesome. I love Will Levis. I hope he keeps starting for the Tennessee Titans. I don't ever want to see him fall out of the league. He's so bad.
I don't know how long he's gonna stay in as the Titans starter.
Yeah, he's not gonna be there.
He's not. The Jets, I think, are the big story here because they're not playing bad. They didn't play bad. I mean, they know they lost against the Niners, but
I think the big story with the Jets is that they have a stellar backfield.
They do.
Stellar line. The Rodgers getting protection. Who is just going to be the number 2 for them? Because Garrett Wilson's just sucking up targets. Mike Williams made a few good plays.
Yeah, but Mike Williams, he's been nicked up so many times. It's
hard to trust him.
It's gonna be a slow start for him.
Yeah, we'll have to see with the Jets. I am very bullish on the Jets, though.
I think they'll make a playoff berth.
I think Rodgers has just galvanized that team. Speaking of another galvanized team. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Lions Stadium and hanging 20 to win the game.
You know what I love about this 16. Game? It's two first overall picks playing each other that were literally kicked off their team because they weren't thought to be good enough.
This is a rematch of last year's divisional round. So Buccaneers, obviously Mike Evans didn't really do much this game because I think the Lions are really good at taking away that number 1 guy. But Chris Godwin ate this game. He absolutely ate this game. And the Lions it doesn't really seem like... Oh, Amon-Ra had his production. But if Jameson Williams is locked up and they keep throwing the ball to him, this offense is not going to work. They need to start running the ball more. Because they aren't controlling the clock at all. Whereas the Bucs, I mean, hats off Baker Mayfield, man. He's winning. He's winning.
He's doing really well. Like, I could see them in contention for the South. I had them winning the South, didn't I?
South's going to be a rough division, though, because you got the Bucs 2-0. You got the Atlanta Falcons 1-1, but they just came off a big win.
You got the Saints.
You got the Saints, too, 2-0.
And they got the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers.
There's the Panthers.
The basement.
Yeah, no, they're bad. But no, this is an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, but absolute stellar performance. Next, we got the Raiders traveling to the Ravens and winning 26-23. Doomsday game for the Ravens. Absolutely doomsday game.
This is the first time they've
doomsday.
When was the last time they went 0-2 to start the season?
Last people that went 0-2 to make the playoffs were the Houston Texans last year.
I was saying to the Ravens. When was the last time they went 0-2?
The last time they went 0-2 to start the season?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was that before the John Harbaugh days?
No, that definitely was during John Harbaugh.
It was definitely during the Joe Flacco days, right?
No, I don't know. But for this game, it is becoming abundantly clear that the Ravens O-line is just falling apart.
Decaying.
It is just falling apart. Max Crosby just had his way.
Yeah, they had nobody. They didn't really find a good replacement for Marshall Yanda.
Yeah, the right side of the line is just wow.
And I mean,
it's just abysmal.
And I mean, Tyler Linderbaum's great, but he's a center.
Yeah.
And then they got is it Ronnie Stanley or is he on the Texans?
Yeah, Ronnie Stanley. No, Ronnie Stanley's on it.
He's on the Ravens. I keep getting him mixed up with Larry Tunsil for some reason. But no, Ronnie Stanley, that's just the left side. But you were saying the right side. Max Crosby just feasted on him.
Yeah, and
he's got what he wanted.
It's becoming abundantly clear that if Lamar doesn't have 15 carries and he goes for 75 yards, then they really can't. Their offense really just can't function with that.
That's one thing I have a problem too with the Ravens. I think Lamar tries to do too much.
Well, it's just their line is not good this year.
It's
like
not.
at least the right side of the line needs to step up. Because wow,
Now the Raiders, their D line's good.
Brock Bowers is a beast.
Brock Bowers is really
Brock
good.
Bowers is an absolute monster. Obviously, everybody knows Devontae Adams is the number one receiver there, but Brock Bowers, Gardner Minshew's looking real good with those two.
Gardner
Just
Min-
saying, he's
Gar-
looking real good with those two.
Gardner Minshew just looks like a Raider. The
Yeah,
long hair, the mustache.
Yeah, this might be a Raiders like menacing team where they're not gonna win the Super Bowl. Okay, they might not even make the playoffs, but you know what? They will show up.
Like, I know
They will show up.
I know the Chargers beat them, but they were tough to beat.
Yeah,
They played hard, dude. The Raiders played hard this year.
they're gonna show up. Meanwhile, Ravens that was a disaster.
Yeah, I know.
They
The Ravens got
really need to win that game.
The Ravens got to figure something out.
Yeah, next week is Dallas for Ravens. They're coming off of a Dallas humiliation loss. Ooh, that's gonna be a real good game. I think we win. I think the audience wins that game.
I think the audience wins that game too.
All right, next we got the Rams traveling to the Cardinals. Rams have been historically dominant against the Cardinals at the Cardinals Stadium because the Cardinals have been terrible for a long period of time, but not this case.
Yeah, the Rams look old.
Rams look old. Cardinals look young.
That's honestly the biggest takeaway for this game.
Yep.
The Rams, F them picks. Yeah, well, yeah, that was what the GM said about the Rams said.
Yeah.
Like, F those picks. Yeah, well, the problem is when you don't make any picks, you're just resolved to.
That
Picking up
plan
older guys.
works. That plan works if you can guarantee that the player isn't going to get injured.
Yeah.
Because if that player gets injured, then you're toast.
Yeah.
And also, the Rams have been really good in the late rounds, but the Rams are just so beat up. It's hard to even have a takeaway from this game because it's like, okay, like what if we have Puka Nacua? What if they had Cooper Kupp? Like,
Yeah.
what if they had if Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were both there, Kyron Williams probably wouldn't have the production that he had.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. But Cardinals did what they were supposed to do. Marvin Harrison looked great.
Marvin Harrison looked great. He looked
Unguardable.
really good.
He looks unguardable.
He looks like Calvin Johnson a little bit, just maybe a shorter Calvin Johnson.
There's probably 2 or 3 more plays out there that he could have made like 50-yard catches.
Yeah.
He was insane.
But the story of the Rams, like I know they had a good draft. I said they had a good draft this last season, but I think they're starting to realize, okay, we got to start drafting in younger guys because these older guys. Because remember they lost Aaron Donald last season,
Yeah.
so they're getting older. They're getting that retirement range. They're going, okay, we got to start getting younger. I think this is gonna be a whiff season for the Rams. This is starting to look like another one of those seasons for the Rams.
Yeah. Cardinals O-line had no fear for the Rams D-line, and it is apparent. Like when you're watching the Rams like defense play, you're just like, there is no sort of fear at all from Aaron Donald.
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals just look like they're having fun too.
Yeah, Cardinals, their offense looks crazy.
Yeah.
Their offense looks really good. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is, I mean, 4th overall receiver. Oh, you're never supposed to draft skill positions that high. You draft that guy that high. He makes that whole offense better. All right, next we got probably game of the week, I'd say. This game was amazing. Bengals at Chiefs.
This was a close game.
Bengals lost 25-26.
Do you think it's because the Bengals lost or the Chiefs won?
Okay, yeah. Everybody's saying that, the officials and blah, 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 blah. The officials.
Although, to be fair, that's a pretty damning stat of between the interceptions and the amount of calls called by the official.
Well, I would just say that it's probably... Well, I was thinking that, the officials are covering for the Chiefs or blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm just thinking that all of those interceptions that Mahomes threw that were called back for penalties, usually there probably was something on there, but I think the Chiefs dial up plays so that they could draw penalties on throws like that. I think that's how they do it because that's in their control. You could draw fouls in the NFL. You can do that. But I think the reason why the officials throw flags on those plays is because the Chiefs player purposefully draws a foul and then the refs call that foul and the refs can't pick up their flag, especially for pass interference. We'll just go back to that one play that probably won the Chiefs the game. That was pass interference, bar none. But the Chiefs player really kind of instigated it. If you were actually looking at it, he was clearly running at the guy, and it didn't really seem like he was even really looking at the ball. And he just turned around his head around the last second, and the official threw it. Like, I'm really starting to suspect that the Chiefs are just playing the rules, and they're not really playing. They're not trying to get this huge explosive play. They're really just trying to draw the PI.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they always do that. They always do that.
They do.
That's why the Chiefs are so annoying because they don't play football. They play the rules, and I hate it when teams play rules because then it's just like, oh, okay, great. Then we're just gonna play the rules, and then we're just gonna kick a 50-yard field goal to win the game.
I think the Bengals are still a good team. That obviously shows they almost won this game
At
Arrowhead. But I
probably should have won it.
I think the Chiefs are playing on borrowed time.
I think Pacheco getting injured.
That's going to affect them a lot, dude.
I think that they're starting to get the injury bug. And Kelsey is
playing like shit, dude. He's playing awful this past 2 games.
He's not looking good.
He's looking like Taylor Swift's next ex-boyfriend.
Well, I don't understand why they're only giving him 2 targets a game. Like he had two receptions before that breakaway catch that he had, and then that was called back for penalty.
People forget he's what, 34, 35 now? He's getting old, dude.
Yeah, I think he just signed a big deal to play for 2 more years. So
I remember when I was looking for jobs, and I remember when I first got hired my first job, they said, "Don't let people know you're retiring, or don't like say it out loud that you're thinking about retiring." Okay, this is like old knowledge that some old man was giving me, but he said, "Don't let people know that you're retiring, because then they're starting to move on from you." Because then everyone's be like, "Oh, he's thinking about retiring. Oh, he's thinking about retiring."
Well, that's Noah Gray, because Noah Gray was starting to get targets and catches too.
Yeah.
In their first game. So.
But remember, Kelsey said he was going to retire. He thought about retirement.
Yeah,
so that's starting to once that worm gets in your brain, bro, it's gonna get bigger.
I'm going to be real. I don't think the Chiefs are three-peating. I do not think they're going to.
No, this isn't a three-peat.
There's no way. And for anybody out of the we'll discuss our thoughts later, but let's move on to the next game, which was the Steelers at Broncos.
You only scored 6 points.
Yeah, this team's got a lot of work to do. The Steelers have a great defense. The fact that we even got 6 points and we held them to 13. I like the Broncos defense looks good. I'm not gonna lie, the Broncos defense actually looks really good. Just the Broncos offense is just, what are we doing, man? We have no playmakers. Courtland Sutton is cooked. I love Courtland Sutton, but man, he cannot run. He cannot run. Marvin Mims is like probably our only saving grace on offense, and he can't separate. We have a running back that can't run either. Javonte just can't run. Just none of these guys have any speed. We just have no speed. We have no speed on that offense, and that's really showing because Bo Nix is trying to throw people open, and they just have no separation. And all this, there's no downfield completions. There's no threat of the Broncos throwing a pass over 15 yards. It's just this offense looks bad. Yeah. It's bad. It's a bad offense right now. Yeah, the defense looks great.
Is Sean Payton the guy?
I think he's the guy, but I just. Do you? Look, dude, this is probably a normal time for a rookie. And some people say, oh, he was old. I was saying that he wasn't really technically a rookie because he's already older, but...
Well, look, the Steelers are a hard-hitting team, but...
Bo Nix got to play better. Easily. Bo Nix got to play better.
He's got to play better.
He's got to play better.
What's your thoughts on the Steelers?
They are like the Iowa Hawkeyes, dude. They're just going to ground you and pound you and win on defense. And they'll try and score a touchdown, but they'll score a touchdown with, Darnell Washington. He's usually a blocking tight end. This is they don't really have the juice.
They just look beatable to me. The Steelers. They're tough, don't get me wrong, but I just...
If they play a team like the Texans, I think the Steelers are going to have big trouble.
Well, the Chargers. They play the next.
Nah.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in that episode.
Prediction, yeah.
All right, and just thoughts on the Broncos offense. Just, guys, you got to be better.
You need better work. You need a lot of work to do.
Guys, we've had 10 years of the same BS. Please, fix the offense. All right.
What if you're the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes, would you?
Dude, we can't keep shuffling through quarterbacks, too. Anyway, next we got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Houston Texans and getting absolutely buzzsawed by the Texans, 19-13.
Remember when I said Caleb Williams might not be as good as everybody says he is?
I think these defenses are way better this year.
These defenses are way better.
These defenses are making these quarterbacks look like complete garbage. Yeah, they're just. Well, I told you earlier about that stat that there's only 66 touchdowns scored in the past few years. There's always been hundreds of touchdowns scored.
The defense is starting to be more valued, I think, by the league because especially with all these these air raiders with Mahomes or Herbert or Josh Allen. These guys can just throw the ball at will, and I think they're trying to figure out how to stop the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But not so much the running game, but they're trying to stop those elite quarterbacks.
I think there's just a lot of elite defensive talent got left from the COVID thing, and all that talent's starting to enter the league, and they are flying to the quarterback. They're flying around the field.
Well, you know, I said it last draft. Like this is a loaded draft.
Yeah, especially the defensive side. Yeah, I obviously Texans are a wagon. I don't. Yeah. They're winning the South, so they're gonna be in the playoffs.
Oh, they're gonna win the South.
There's all the teams in the South are 0-2 except for the Texans. They're 2-0. They already have a 2-game advantage on everybody else. Yeah, they're winning the South.
I could see the Bears being the bottom of the North. Think about it.
I'm not disputing that.
The Vikings are
their
playing pretty good.
Their offensive line is terrible.
It's
their
shit.
offensive line is so garbage.
Like you can't.
And Caleb Williams is trying to do what he's doing in college. This is exactly what everybody was saying not to do. Like when he was playing within structure, he looked good. He looked sharp. When he didn't, he looked like Caleb Williams against Utah.
Yeah, and when your head coach is Matt Eberflus, it makes it worse. Because Eberflus
I got a new haircut this offseason. Yeah, who cares? You're still the same guy, dude.
Eberflus is the second worst head coach in the NFL right now, in my opinion.
Who's the worst?
We'll get to that in a second.
You still hate Sirianni?
Yeah, I hate Sirianni, but Caleb Williams is doing. He keeps acting like he's in the Pac-12. I think that's why I get so frustrated watching him play. It's like you're better than this, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
like stop painting your nails. Stop trying to talk shit. Don't text your punter that you don't have to you're not gonna punt that much this year. And you've what? How much have they punted now?
A lot. They've
punted a lot. They think that punter's like, yeah, not a lot of work this year, huh?
Well, I think this would ultimately settle the case of who would have won between Ohio State and USC. Oh my God, Ohio State would have crushed USC.
Yeah, dude. The problem is,
Stroud would have crushed. Stroud is so much better than Caleb Williams.
He would, dude.
He's so much better.
Well, Stroud plays quarterback. He plays quarterback the way he's supposed to play it.
How in the hell did Carolina Panthers did not draft Stroud number 1? That will never not be funny. He is so much better than them.
Remember all they gave up?
So much better.
Remember all the capital they gave up for Bryce Young?
Dude, he just throws laser beams.
He's good, dude.
He just throws lasers.
Stroud's really good. He's got good. Nico Collins is looking like a stud. Michigan man, by the way.
Yeah, Texans rebuilt the right way. What can I say? And now this is when you start spending money on all the other guys. You spend money on Joe Mixon. You spend the money on the Stephon Diggs. You spend the money on the Daniel Hunters. You spend the money right now because this is when you go win a Super Bowl. Outstanding. Texans look great.
Texans look great. Bears.
I will say this: Bears defense looks good.
Bears defense does look good, but their offense looks bad.
Texans are just they're the team. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Out of all these teams in the AFC, I think they might be the team to beat.
The Texans.
Yeah,
they look like they got most going on for them right now.
They look super. Yeah, they look stellar. And then finally, we have Monday Night Football with the Falcons absolutely upsetting the Eagles 22-21.
I adore it. What did I tell you?
The Eagles had this game in hand. And then Vic Fangio decides, you know what we should do? You know what's the one way that we could always guarantee an opposing victory? It's called prevent. You had 46 seconds left on the clock.
He just ran prevent the entire time.
It took them 10 seconds to drive down the field and score a touchdown.
Well, you know Vic Fangio, he likes running. You've had him as a head coach. He likes running that cover 2. Yeah, cover 2 is great when you got dogs on your.
No, that wasn't cover 2. That was prevent. You played 3 deep safeties and left a rookie to go try and tackle Darnell Mooney.
I was talking about more of the whole game, not so much that one.
Well, no, I'm talking about that one drive because the whole game they played good. The whole game that defense played really good. Up until when they needed it most.
Oh, I mean, Saquon also had that catastrophic drop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But again, the Falcons had a 0.7% chance of winning this game.
They could have just need the ball. They could have just need the ball on the goal line and win the game.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
That was so dumb. That was beyond disaster. That was a disaster for the Eagles. The Eagles should be absolutely embarrassed by that. That was a disaster.
And who owns that disaster? Nick Sirianni, the worst head coach.
Well, because Nick Sirianni always wants to just run up the score, and Kellen Moore was probably the worst hire he could have had for that team because all of a sudden now they want to just light up the score, and have no interest in actually trying to win the game. It was 16-14. They scored a touchdown. Just run the ball, run the clock out. It's game over.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea why any team. If you're up big, going. If
Take
you're
the W.
if it looks like you're gonna score and you're about 10 yards out, and it's first and goal, and you're at like the 5. Run the freaking ball, dude. You're probably gonna score. It's 16-14. Your kicker can kick it. Win the game. You win the game by 1 point. They beat you by 1 point. So why can't you do it by 1 point? It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. And also, the Eagles would have won this game had they kicked a field goal earlier in the game, but instead of going for on 4th and 1. It's like, why? These decisions are baffling.
Yeah, dude.
They don't want to take the easy win. They always want to make it so flashy. And it's like, you guys, they can't do that. They can't do that.
Do you think the Eagles' defense is a little overrated?
No, I think their pass defense
I
still
think they're
looks suspect.
really young.
Yeah, they're pass. Well, because Quinn and Mitchell missed that tackle against Darnell Mooney. That's what won them the game. Darnell Mooney was getting no respect from the Eagles secondary, and he just destroyed them.
You kept bringing it up. You said the Eagles' back secondary. That's gonna be a problem.
I said, I still thought their pass defense was going to be suspect because you're starting rookies against veterans. Like, Quinn Mitchell's a talented guy,
but
he completely whiffed a tackle in the last drive.
Yeah,
he cost him the game.
They're not developed yet. They're still young. They're still young players.
He totally cost him the game. He should have been playing better against Darnell. It's Darnell Mooney, dude. He was a 5th round pick. This is his 3rd team. And he absolutely dusted him. Like, dude, you got drafted in the 1st round, dude. You're these are the points where you're supposed to change the game. Like, you had a near pick that he dropped. Like, I'm not saying this to pick on like a random, like, not random guy. I'm not using this to pick on him, but it's just like, dude, you got to make those plays, man. Same Quan. Like, Saquon, that was a routine catch for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake, and he knows that.
It's just, again, what is with the thing about going for it on 4th down?
Yeah.
Why not take the points?
Because he's the head. I told you, he's Nick Sirianni. He's Brandon Staley.
What
did Brandon Staley used to do, Cameron?
Nick Sirianni needs somebody that is just going to say, or they need someone like a Belichick in his ear that's like, hey, man, take the points. Stop with this bullshit.
Well, you want to know why I keep calling him? Sorry, I didn't mean to, but you know why I keep calling Brandon Staley? Nick Sirianni kept saying, it's the analytics. Staley said the same thing. I kept hearing the same thing over and I'm like, oh boy.
Fucking, I am so tired of people saying, oh, the analytics said 70% of the time you go for it. Well, guess what? Is it 70% of the time all the time? Or is it 70% of the time
We're down by 3.
Okay, well, in that game, it might not be 70%. What if their D-line is so beast that they can stop it 4th and 1?
That's what I've always been saying. Like, the analytics don't project game-time situation.
Look, I would respect analytics if it took the physics of all of the D linemen, all the offensive linemen, all of the linebackers, and all of the backs. If it actually took the data, the actual physical traits of each player, and then weighted it together, I'm sure that percentage is going to be way lower than 70%.
Yeah.
Putting numbers on a spreadsheet that doesn't win you games.
It doesn't.
It doesn't win you games.
It's like, 70%. So, yeah, great. That's fine.
Yeah, 70%. Yeah, is that against Grady Jarrett, who's one of the best D tackles of all time? Is that against who is that for? Like, who's that for?
It just says, look, the numbers are high. Great.
Oh, Kirk Cousins has a 0.6% chance to win the game. Who flipping cares, man? They don't care. Yeah. They're trying to win the game.
They had a 0.7% chance of winning the game.
I hate.
They won.
Hate crap like this. It's the same. This is the thing that happens with the Eagles that always happens to the Chiefs. The Chiefs always find a way to win the game because guess what? They play to the rules. The Eagles just throw the rule book out of the window. They're like, fuck it, we're just gonna call whatever play we want.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever we want with the Philadelphia Eagles.
So dumb, especially at home crowd. Kirk Cousins is one of the worst primetime quarterbacks of all time.
And
you want to go for numbers? The numbers prove that he's one of the worst ones of all time.
Yeah, in primetime.
Golly, man. I'm more mad about this because I'm seeing my bracket just get absolutely eviscerated. I picked Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl. I picked the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl too. I did pick Atlanta to make the playoffs, but I also didn't pick the Bucs to make the playoffs.
A lot of injuries have happened too.
I picked the Bears to make the playoffs. What was I thinking?
We might do
I was thinking that
we should do a mid-season rebracketing.
Yeah, I need a mulligan because wow,
that's bad.
All right, buddy, that's week 2.
Join us next time for our week 3 predictions
and more. All right, cool.
That was a great outro.